All right, welcome to lesson 9.8. I'm here with Sims and JP and Graham, and we are presenting the surface area of a prism or a cylinder. All right, now the surface area is basically the outside portion. So if you were going to take an object and paint it, or you were going to make a hollow object, or maybe it's a present, you're going to wrap it up with paper. Okay, the surface area is how much paper it takes to go around the outside. It's how much cardboard you fold up to make the object. It's how much paint goes on the outside. So we have two basic objects here that we're going to talk about. And so again, a quick review from the previous lesson. If you have a circle that goes straight up, that is called a cylinder. And if you have a polygon that goes straight up, that is called a prism. And prisms are named for their polygons. So if you count the sides in this polygon, how many sides are there?
There's six.
Six. So, so this is a hexagonal prism. Now both of these things together are called cylindric. And I know that sounds more like cylinder than prism, but it basically means like a cylinder. So cylindric. These are called cylindric surfaces, both a cylinder and a prism. And what we're going to do when we find the lateral area, the surface area of these guys, is we're going to first find the lateral area. Now the lateral area is basically the part that wraps around either the circle or around the polygon to make the sides. Okay, then add to that the top and bottom, the two bases. In a cylinder, the top and bottom are circles, right? And in a prism, it's whatever polygon you're dealing with. So what we're going to do, the basic formula for surface area of a prism or a cylinder, it's the lateral area plus two bases. Alright, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of this, let's try to visualize exactly what we're talking about here. Alright, so we've got these things called nets, okay? And so this is a box. And if you think of the sides here and here, okay, that's the green sides. Think of those as the bases. So think of this as a prism that's kind of laying down on its side. Okay? Here is the big rectangle I'm talking about. This would make the lateral surface. Notice it's just one big rectangle, and all it's going to do is wrap around those green sides. Okay? It's just a big rectangle. Alright? So if you want to find the area of that, which is the lateral area, what you're basically going to do is you're going to take the perimeter of whatever the base is, so that's the perimeter of these guys, and you're going to multiply by the height. Well, the height, again, this is laying down, right? So the height is just this piece right here. So it's the perimeter times the height. Okay, that gives you the lateral area. Then all you got to do, if you want to find the surface area, is take the lateral area, which we just found, and then find the green area. That's a base. And just double it, because you got one on the top and the bottom, or in this case, one on the left and the right, and add those in. Okay? Now, this thing is called a net. A net is what you would cut out of, like, let's say you had a big pizza box. Let's say this white picture here was a big pizza box. If I actually took the pizza box and I drew this thing right here, and I cut it out, then it would be, it's called a net. A net is what you fold up to make a three-dimensional object. Alright, now, let's put those two ideas together. The idea of the net and the lateral area surface area. Alright, so let's picture the net for a cylinder. Alright, so let's start with the circle, and this I'm going to shrink this down a little bit, but let's say that circle, if I look down at the top, that's the base, okay? That's actually a little too small. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Alright, it's not going to be perfect, but there we go. Alright, now, let's say that this is going to be the big rectangle that's going to wrap all the way around that circle, okay? And then it doesn't matter where I put the other circle, but there's the other base that's going to fold onto the bottom. Alright. So let's think about this for a second. If the radius is 3 centimeters, how far is it around this circle? Well, that's the circumference, right? And we just learned that circumference is the pi times the diameter. Well, if the radius is 3, what's the diameter?
6.
6. So this is going to be, from here to here, is 6 pi, agreed?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, because that wraps around the outside of the circle. All right, how tall is it? Well, this right here gives you the height. And we know that the height is 4.
4.
So this total area right here of this rectangle is 24 pi.
Because you do 6 times 4,
yeah.
right?
Now, what's the area? Yep, exactly. What's the area if the radius is 3? 3 times 3 is?
9.
So it's 9 pi is the area of the circle. And then there's another 9 pi for the bottom. So add all that together. 9 pi and 9 pi is 18. 18 and 24 is 42 pi. And that 42. Is the exact surface area of the cylinder. So,
42.
alright, what I'd like you to do now is do the same idea using the bases, and be careful, the one base you can't really see on this one. I want you to do the rectangular prism on your own. And the bases, one's going to be down here, and it's going to be 5 by 4. Okay, oops, that doesn't look like a 4. And you have another one on the top, and then you can figure out the perimeter around the bottom, and you got a height of 3. So go ahead and find the lateral area and the surface area of the box while you pause the video, and then come back and we'll see if we agree. Okay? Alright, you should have found 2 steps. So first I'm going to find the lateral area. What I said about lateral area, it's the perimeter of the base times the height. Well, the perimeter of the base, if I have 5 and 4, that's 9. I double it, I get 18. The height was 3, so the lateral area is 18 times 3, which is 54 centimeters squared. And the base is just this 5 by 4, so that's going to be 20, but there's 2 of them. So that's a total, well, there's one on the top and one on the bottom.
Yes.
So 54 plus 40 is 94 centimeters squared. All right, well, sorry, didn't mean to get cut off right in mid-sentence there. But anyway, this is the lateral area, came out to be 54 centimeters squared for the cube. And the surface area, if you add the 2 bases, which are each 20, that's going to add another 40 for the top and the bottom. That's a total of 94 centimeters squared for the total surface area. So thanks for tuning in, and we will talk more about nets and how to find lateral area and surface area of prisms and cylinders in class on Monday. And then we're going to talk about finding the lateral area and the surface area of pointy things like cones and pyramids. That's a little bit trickier. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Bye.